We don't just make up myths. It's something that we experience. And around the world, people have experienced stories. They may be very different in many ways, but they will follow this organizing principle, principles of organization. And those principles guide us and direct our growth and our evolution. The story of the tree and the Garden of Eden, this story was very distorted and very troublesome. We were told, of course, by the Deuteronomist in Genesis that this was God telling Adam and Eve that they could not eat of this one tree, and that was a tree of knowledge of good and evil. Of course, if we don't know who we are, we can be controlled. So, and it was this, they were punished for eating it, and with fear, the same thing any dictator wants. It was just fear and punishment. And that's exactly what these Deuteronomists talked about, that God punished them and made them very, very fearful. And an angel was there with a sword to be sure they did not come back in, because God did not want them to eat of the tree of life and discover that they were in fact immortal like the gods. So we can see from every aspect of that story exactly what our true myth was, because each truth of the true myth was negated by the Deuteronomist.
Throughout the world, one of the key features of these true myths, these sacred teachings, is that we are not just mortals. We don't just die like we see animals dying, that the human soul has an immortal aspect to it.
As Goethe called it, the holy open secret. You could tell people that. The secret could be told, but it would still be a secret, because they knew that we had to experience it before we really knew it. The consciousness does not die. That was one of the major aspects of this secret, you might say, that our ancestors wanted us to know. Just as Persephone in the myth in Greece, the moment death touches her, she conceives of new life. And certainly our myths tell us that.
And there's also, to me, this notion of the Hegelian dialectic, that every thesis engenders its own antithesis. So,
yeah.
So the sacred truths of our immortality, or at least that we partake of a much larger consciousness than what we think of as our human-animal consciousness, that is naturally going to engender the opposite thought sooner or later.
Yes. Well, and being in time and space is being in a world of opposites. And how do we find the truth in each and bring them in? As Goethe said, that the two will move into the third unknown and highly developed possession of the opposites. It's a unity of opposites.
Thinking Aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist Jeffrey Mishlove.